Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman reveal stuns, more WWE SmackDown Fallout. The camera panned right, revealing Paul Heyman was sitting beside Roman Reigns. And for the second time in the span of 5 days, WWE delivered a shocking conclusion to a show that left the audience reeling. Reigns' relationship with Heyman was undisputedly the biggest, most important, and unforgettable takeaway from Friday's SmackDown, a show tasked with drumming up interest in a second pay-per-view in as many weekends from Vince McMahon's sports entertainment empire. And drum up interest it did, thanks to that exclamation point, but also to the continuation of ongoing stories and the return of a former champion. On the heels of a blockbuster broadcast, relive these moments and angles that left the greatest impression and find out what they mean for the men and women involved with this recap of Friday's episode of SmackDown. WWE made good on its promise that you'll never see it coming for a second time this week with the shocking, unexpected revelation of an alliance between Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman that wrapped up Friday's episode of SmackDown. The ballsy creative move pushes Reigns one step closer to a heel turn, which began with the edgy trash-talking and brutal beatdown of The Fiend and Braun Strowman at the conclusion of SummerSlam. Reigns big-timing Adam Pearce and refusing to sign the contract for his payback triple threat, no-holds-barred match against the aforementioned competitors, only to reveal Heyman sitting next to him, was the sort of jaw-dropping and buzzworthy conclusion to a show WWE has not necessarily been synonymous with in recent years. It was a huge storyline development that gives the audience a peek into the mindset of WWE creative, at a time when it is desperately trying to revitalize television ratings across the board. Giving the fans the long-awaited Reigns heel turn is a strong start. The key will be following up the huge storyline development appropriately. While WWE officials are more likely to want to keep the Universal Championship on The Fiend, there is no justification not to strike while the iron is hot and put the gold on Reigns. He is as hot now, after 2 appearances, as he has ever been, and the development with Heyman as his new advocate only intensifies interest in the big dog. Put the gold on him right now, reap the benefits, and go all in with the Reigns heel turn. Big E was supposed to be a guest on Miz TV on Friday, playing off his tense exchange with the Hollywood A-lister on the previous week's Talking Smack. Instead, that segment was scrapped in favor of a 6-man tag team match, pitting Big E and Heavy Machinery against Miz, John Morrison, and Sheamus. The problem? Big E will never become the genuine main event performer he is capable of being if he cannot express himself and let his enormous personality get over with the audience. Friday's change in plans took the mic out of his hands and placed him in the unenviable position of being just another mid-carder on a show full of them. While it was the main event, and he did pick up the win for his team, it was, all the same, meaningless tag team fodder. He didn't elevate himself because he didn't have the ability to communicate with the audience, to let them see his personality or invest in his motivations. Until that happens, WWE will continue to handcuff Big E, preventing him from seizing the proverbial brass ring and becoming the level of star this whole storyline is setting him up to be. It is a sentiment Bayley shared in regard to Big E, but one that struck her partner and friend, Sasha Banks, as they made their way to the ring Friday night. Once there, the role model was celebratory in her promo, touting her own successes while reminding Banks that she had lost the Raw Women's Championship to Asuka. To the point, even, that Banks snapped back, clearly annoyed and frustrated by her partner's braggadocio. Banks' intense rebuttal to Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, a promise that she will retain the Women's Tag Team Championships on Sunday at Payback, only further hinted at the impending demise of her partnership with Bayley. The tag team champions have enjoyed a hell of a run in 2020, but it is most definitely time for them to go their separate ways and deliver on the teased feud from earlier this year. And they will, sooner rather than later, if Banks' temperament Friday were any indication. AJ Styles staked his claim to a rematch with Jeff Hardy by decrying the charismatic Enigma's illegal use of a knee brace to beat him last week. Hardy backed up his status as champion with a victory over Shinsuke Nakamura in an open challenge. It was the return of Sami Zayn, though, that elevated the Intercontinental Championship picture. The former champion, stripped of his title while he sat out for months because of COVID-19 concerns, exploded back onto the scene Friday night and wasted little time wiping out Hardy with a helluva kick. Zayn's return and claim to being the real champion only further elevated it. The Intercontinental Championship had been so woefully underutilized and underappreciated for so long that to see the sheer amount of star power battling over it is a welcome change for longtime fans who remember how prestigious a prize it was for guys like Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, Tito Santana, Greg Valentine, and Rick Rude. That there are so many competitors with real arguments for why they should be champion will almost certainly culminate in a specialty match of some sort to determine the undisputed champion, perhaps a ladder match, a la Ramon and Shawn Michaels when they had the same argument 26 years ago. We got our first taste of the effect Bray Wyatt's alter ego had on Alexa Bliss on Friday as the five-time women's champion reintroduced her signature pigtails and snapped at Nikki Cross, shattering her coffee cup and stomping off at the mere mention of the Fiend's name. While it is entirely too early to say for sure where this is headed, it appears as though we may be on our way to a Bliss heel turn, and maybe the manifestation of the Harley Quinn-style personality she has teased so often via her ring gear. The WWE Universe was left stunned after the events that unfolded on a recent episode of SmackDown, as Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman took center stage, delivering a bombshell that has sent shockwaves throughout the locker room and left fans buzzing with questions. The fallout from this revelation is still being felt, and it seems like only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the ramifications for the bloodline and the future of WWE programming. With Roman Reigns' dominance and Paul Heyman's mastermind tactics, SmackDown has officially entered a new chapter. But what exactly did Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman reveal? And what does it mean for the WWE landscape moving forward? It all started with a simple backstage promo from Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. What seemed like an ordinary segment quickly took a turn for the unexpected when Heyman, speaking in his signature calm yet menacing tone, began discussing the future of the bloodline. Reigns, usually the stoic figurehead, broke his silence and looked directly into the camera with a smirk on his face that suggested something big was coming. Then, in a move that left fans both perplexed and excited, Reigns dropped a bombshell, the identity of an unexpected ally joining the bloodline. While many thought it would be another family member or a seasoned wrestler looking for a stable faction, the true shock came when Heyman confirmed that a new acquisition was made, but not in the way anyone anticipated. "We don't need any more family members," Heyman said cryptically. "We needed someone with ambition, someone willing to rewrite history." The truth was more shocking than anyone could have imagined. Roman Reigns had struck a deal with none other than Brock Lesnar. The revelation that the Beast incarnate, who had been a longtime adversary of Reigns, was now part of the bloodline sent the SmackDown crowd into an uproar. This wasn't just a power move. It was a declaration that Roman Reigns was no longer just the head of the bloodline. He was looking to consolidate all power, to bring every monster in WWE under one banner. For years, Brock Lesnar had been a force unto himself, often working as a lone wolf with very few alliances of note. His bouts with Roman Reigns have been some of the most brutal and intense matches in recent history, but now, after all the bloodshed and animosity, It seemed that both Reigns and Lesnar had a shared vision. The two powerful figures, once bitter rivals, now stood united under the umbrella of the bloodline. Of course, none of this would have been possible without Paul Heyman's calculating influence. Heyman has always been the true architect behind the curtain, pulling the strings and manipulating superstars to align with the interests of his clients. His work with Lesnar and Reigns is a masterstroke in long-term storytelling, and this unexpected alliance proves that Heyman isn't just a wise man, he's a visionary. For years, Heyman has been synonymous with managing the careers of high-caliber athletes, from CM Punk to Brock Lesnar to Roman Reigns. Now, with Lesnar joining forces with Reigns, Heyman's role becomes even more crucial. The partnership between Heyman and these two juggernauts could lead to an unstoppable force in WWE, and it's clear that Heyman is already plotting the next steps in this monumental shift. Heyman's ability to sow seeds of doubt and manipulate superstars into doing his bidding is unparalleled. He's played the long game, positioning both Reigns and Lesnar as the top dogs of the company. Now, with their combined might, the power balance within WWE is about to shift dramatically. But what does this mean for the other superstars on SmackDown? With Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar now allied, the question on everyone's mind is who can possibly stop them. The Bloodline, once thought to be a faction focused on family and loyalty, has evolved into a ruthless powerhouse. With Reigns as the undisputed leader and Lesnar as his ultimate enforcer, it's a combination that spells bad news for the competition. For starters, the WWE Universe can expect major shakeups in the title scene. Roman Reigns has held the Universal Championship for over 3 years, and now, with Lesnar by his side, there's no telling how long his reign could last. The Tribal Chief, already unbeatable with the Usos and Solo Sikoa backing him up, now has Lesnar to ensure his dominance. The combination of their brute strength and ruthless tactics could make it impossible for anyone, including top contenders like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Edge, to dethrone Reigns from his perch. The immediate fallout for superstars like Rollins and Rhodes could be catastrophic. Rollins, who has been one of WWE's top babyfaces for years, is currently embroiled in a bitter feud with the Judgment Day, but this new alliance between Reigns and Lesnar presents an even greater threat. As someone who has fought for justice and fairness in WWE, Rollins now finds himself facing a true war machine that shows no mercy. Cody Rhodes, on the other hand, is seen as one of the few stars capable of challenging Roman Reigns. After failing to capture the Universal title at WrestleMania 39, Rhodes has been on a mission to reclaim what he believes is his birthright. But with Lesnar now in the mix, that mission may seem more impossible than ever. Brock Lesnar's brutal, no-nonsense style has broken the will of many before, and he's now positioned to help Reigns stay atop the mountain. This new alliance makes the already elusive dream of dethroning Reigns even more distant for Rhodes. But the effects of this partnership won't be confined to just the SmackDown roster. Across the WWE landscape, superstars from both Raw and SmackDown are going to feel the ripple effects. The authority and corporate figures within WWE, including Triple H, may need to reevaluate their own positions now that this new powerhouse has emerged. There's no telling how long it will take before Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar challenge for titles on both brands, causing a potential reshuffling of the title picture across WWE. The reaction from fans has been nothing short of electric, as this shocking turn of events has divided the WWE Universe. On one hand, the prospect of Reigns and Lesnar working together has generated excitement, as both are larger-than-life figures capable of delivering some of the most epic moments in WWE history. The idea of these two titans wreaking havoc together promises thrilling storylines and jaw-dropping matches that fans will undoubtedly tune in to see. On the other hand, There are concerns that this alliance could lead to oversaturation. Some fans feel that the constant dominance of Roman Reigns and the involvement of Brock Lesnar might turn WWE programming into a repetitive cycle of unchallenged victories. The idea of two of the biggest stars in WWE teaming up may leave little room for the rise of new stars, especially when Reigns and Lesnar have such a history of taking up most of the spotlight. Despite these concerns, the alliance between Reigns and Lesnar, with Paul Heyman at the helm, is undeniably compelling. WWE has once again managed to create a storyline that captivates and leaves the audience wanting more. As the dust settles and the WWE Universe digests the impact of this revelation, one thing is clear. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar are now an unstoppable force, and with Paul Heyman pulling the strings, the future of WWE is about to change in ways no one could have predicted. The fallout from this revelation will likely continue to unfold for weeks to come, and the question on everyone's mind is, who can possibly stand up to this new alliance? Only time will tell as the WWE Universe braces for the next chapter in the saga of the Bloodline's unprecedented reign of terror.